The infinite bond. Infinity bond, unbroken. The infinite bond can never be destroyed. Rain falls relentlessly on one's house in forgotten dreams, visions of water cascading in a blue-green pool of gold shimmer emanations far from simple madness. One meditates, premedicates even, to ask for another dream, a vision one can strive for, live for, becoming ever better at discerning this as the real from the unreal in a slightly distorted perspective, regardless of gold shimmer madness. Infinity bond always stays unbroken. Trans-Galaxy Princess. I knew the day would come when she returned to me from far off spaces beyond all galaxies we can see, warping through all negative space left in between, pulling with her retinue of willing servants, her court of admirers. She did not ever travel lightly, spanning 1 trillion light years in a quarter second, a blink of an eye when she would catapult in my life like a newborn baby just of cosmic origin, so advanced and unknown. We sought out our company, mutually falling into the deep black hole our love had created in a sea of nothingness. We lived on together until God says Schluss jetzt. The universe goes on in hiding behind her eyelids, evaporating all evil that should befall her when her in demon-infested low realms of space-age baby humans in disguise as us ourselves unmask at last in holy funerary rites, often thought of, seldom lived through. Now, Her Highness, it is time. The spaceship we came in was covering 10 of our acres, so we looked for a suitable hill in good view of any threats from the city and a hook up to water. This precious resource whole galaxies fell for before the duplicator was perfected. It encompassed his whole house and half his land. We negotiated with him rather than putting him in semi-conscious sleep for the duration of our stay. He could also become helpful as a local. Then we turned on the invisibility shield. No one could see our spaceship. All they see is his hill and house as before, and we instructed him to continue to act as normal. Within, however, some whole new world was revealed to him. While the psychic intrusion of humanity was underway by the hordes of demon-like beings pulling their humans apart, squashing their soul, occupying their mind, but nevertheless not often able to rule their hearts, only in some of them deranged in vicious acts of unkindness for the sake of something we who do not share such thrill in torture. We can overcome it with the heart only, and that way reprogram our minds to be silent like club clouder chowder. Seemed like just yesterday when you seep through like a moth in the arms of a galaxy of hidden high eyes, hypnotized by the love not yet lived through. He keeps wondering day after day, wondering when it will change, and awaiting the grand princess into his life. Golden globes were turning silver platter up in moonlit shadows of foregone ancestry. When you sip your tea, astounded, we observe, I seek you out, dream through you, played in the day, stars shone in fantastic constellations, not yet remembered, just falling through another act then. The days are friendly and playful, waters flowing in a great stream underground. We seek to differ from that love drifter flown across the galaxy of unperturbedness, shrieked and wailed into the dream of ocean-tight mountain enclave, engraved forever they love, sealed, broken up they went and stole the days that turned away, steal the night, that soul of justice, into the big bent shape of heart-lost memory, understood and guided, for no day has come, be taken away into the realms that cook internal term waste, trustworthy ovens in disguise, forever turned into a flight from stench dreams unaccounted for, the best rent frivolity, unspoken, mind-bladed, frequent memory. And then, when the spice was taken and the underworld rebelled, earthquakes and tsunamis ensued, wasting human civilization away, blowing the last piper centuries toward forgetfulness, in senses often depleted of taste unseen, heard, just felt like an invisible wave of energy washing over them relentlessly. And just when I decided the futility of life was something of a deep philosophical find of mine, I saw through it next to the street in darkened twilight, floating lights receding in sharp sharpenel light, blasted crystal geysers of puddled water thrown in millions of tiny droplets left inside a green sphere of unimaginable but finite circumference. When I was finally able to exit this bubble world and move in true reality, I saw all as nothing in all, always turning this way, that you were seeking justice where no one could find it, and turned it into some fluid motion monster that swallowed the night in abstractions of lost anecdotes whispered in the darkness of gong-infested side streets, narrow with open to shields dripping from constant fog, infestations of small sane packets of sanity cookies chewed through in baseball kicks, windows still adorn it, standing like before, unreflected in its lightness of being inflated with the arc of forgiveness, swept through ages not sensed, through ages not lived, apart from this eternal heart desire that you can be in sweet sanity, unified. As the weirdness of the situation slowly drove him to madness, precisely when he would lose his mind completely, to have it replaced with the oriental stronghold magic, dark as a universe without sun, swallowed whole, never given up, grieved about for ages, never recovered, sought here and there, but never known where it could be, unable to catch it, the squirming piece of reality construction, not seen, unknown, and wanted for nothing in return. Seek and you shall find, is in between the glowing smoky locomotive of life, always running in past routine background operation, like the needle of haystacks found soon through fabrics of space-time still unnamed yet. I sit not tight as trolls bring lightning, overcasting glacier purity in constant pink vapor cloud. What have you seen, dreamed, guessed? You know the salt of Peter. I swindle my way through creation as a force seldom taken as foreign but adopted as own falsely. I tricked not them into this takeover, had just kicked back, let them dispense of me, myself. I created the captain of tomorrow, unable to compete now, set tiger glory himmelwärts. I seek the glory vapor blue madness emanating from torn pages of a heartbreak story yet to be written. Set me up inside some candy glaze, adjust my thoughts in pink white colored paradise, in clouds reflected, seen at night, of stars, of suns, of moon, coming together in a base camp of madness mountain calibrator, sent to dwell in false battle, unseen demon Nazi hordes, never stopping to guess they are dead. In comes the princess of the galaxy, softly shaking her ephemeral head of striking sunbirth beauty, so seldom seen in so young a universe, frequently disregarded, have not now forgotten the dreams once surfaced through in search of utmost reality, only found its building blocks, still unable to move them by will. Most humans are weak and cannot escape their sad destinies, coming to them in form of challenges that they do not know how to restrict and manipulate. Therefore, they are not magicians, as some of you call them. I've seen memories in black mirrors, in the candle non-flick of a second coming sense, domed in because feared we succumb to madness when we fly up and let the others in. They do not allow us to misdirect where the energy goes. That additions their base salary as living being experience collector, sponge-like beings, battery powered by His Holiness, the one and only. Leave your country in ashes of unfulfilled desires, buried love life over, out and aus vorbei. I see no sense in talking now about things that do not concern me, as I scry to you in half-sad madness, and you roll around my mind in a stream without withholding the eternal question that seems to have driven the saner into a silence that were not elected to become self-aware as beings without the function of love will never last the fall of frozen rivers seen in dreams lately flourished, lived through, encountered in green pools, ground as castles of some forevermore protected time, as a king of the realm ruling for the sheer pleasure of pleasing his queen, and then in times we have not seen, in everlasting moments when prayers uttered fell in between words of granite, broken into pieces reflecting understanding on side screens polished brightly, reconstitute more memory to bang to the rule out imperceptibility, renewed, recycled, overhauled, in questions bathed like blood food international, and rescued immanence in the pierced salamander eyes staring sharply into nothingness. Night unseen, unlivable through, in dark dreams turned off last night, on plaza of midnight stranglehold, the culture of light in darkness falsely proclaimed. Forget those meager posts celebrating your art show shortcomings, just drawn house. Some with words alone. If you can sense the alcove go, fast rescue them then. Those sense the words where damage spell the sense. You never seen it coming as a nebula of green, white, red, blue invaded you, that not rescue engulfs you totally within its heartthrob drop stop. Concealed, informed, not gleichgeschaltet, seen in less unwanted, I squeeze more words, strip their blue-green blood onto pages yet not written on. Salvation troubles freedom thieves who do not see past the beyond, so blinded by love, this ideal of togetherness, overhyped for sure, while under the poison arrow's influence, Cupid may be recalled. Anti-love venom applied, bathed in crystal blue water of new becoming, awakening whole soul refleshed, drinking here their undertow, not taken into account. Seek and seek more, as when it all is found, the first one forgotten in you then sought. I see light in the mirror, self-reflection, rudely done clown, rubber smile, upstart from nowhere, cross-cancelled, unappetizing aftertaste. In the city of your dreams, where you chased me like a lost school bus, a bat in between wranglers of beat cowboy coherence. advancing knowledge of humanity by scapegoating the sheep in disguise, never seen without it, tends to know words to express ephemeral meaning of all this world, to be its own shadow reflection. Unwanted in dreams, even as harsh materiality comes right through to the soul inhabiting those solemn spheres, where no creation is a minute thing done, always timeless to advance, the secret notion that not a stone was kept unturned to find meaning in unresolved features, birds in weird human customs, free parts for the taking of life in this universe. If it could be turned off as the only way to stop suffering, then, oh then, Godessa would have ended it long time ago. Still here we float on another day's stream, conquering more heart-mind space, inclining invitations, the so-called beyond, fetishizing our contestants, dreamt up in a stream, sauna bathhouses in fog duty, growled, howled, ready to attach to this realm. Oh, come out now, I can already see you, done with the deep end admiration, thresh through thick philosophy jungles, playing the math rock of past midnight, staring clock 91 text now. I see no other red, my mind in desperation, conceal this lightness found within love, and conquer demons plaguing our lands, lead them to brighter gloom tomorrows, stop festering wounds of mental madness, adorn blood crosses with gold diamond nails, dress up in kindness fit form tightly, expose the benefits of femininity. To help them conquer, then you chase wisely, arrest desires broiling left unwanted. Depart all sad states, move tomorrow, reflect the solace found in silence, restructure memories into the tales of your life, give meaning, let not a stone roll here unwanted. Don't lie for madness under the night sky counting light, refuse to dance in unison, then alter the fraction found in sameness in gilded foyers of antiquated palatial grounds in full moon passion. This gnawing sadness they call depression, a true bad being invaded my space. From time to time this world is shaking, another dream replacement therapy creates this next world we so yearn for. In alabaster secrets, these formulas of sealing stranded caught out. I cannot build another temple of lustful singing in magic realms of glory green sunshine, where shipyards spit out numbers slow ingested. My princess trumps galaxy fleet, a price is paid, red carpets laid, in utter silence, ecstasy and starlight, for reasons not yet known. The children of the sun protesting, another day of sameness slowly approaching. I reign another sequence gladly, forever willing to lose myself in you, the princess of my heart feeling, for chasing the grey horizons in winter settings, cold blue whiteness, unsheltered frozen soul alone in sadness, from tears now frozen, unable to just open, hermetic shut, then say that above so as below, forever up and downwards and balancing, opening and closing, a stretch of space-time electrified with conscious striving for the complete unity, fantastic tales of twin flames. In New Age forums spun those mad tales, resign and stop, then sink down deep into your own depth with meditation counting. Tick-tock, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, repeat. I satisfy my curiosity with thought forms spun anew by influx of new knowledge gathered. Come haunt this place of books, this library of dark tidings. If you can stay afloat in contradictory ideas, stay sane in gladness. Taunt me then, when I go this way, that way others have come through. Still indeed I seek solace in tranquil days with nature spent, in cryptic messages of long past then revealed. This life is just the starting point, and not the end with death, but just a door to walk through and push further upwards. Infinity is beckoning. Come seek another dance with me. Silver bell ring slides of hand from magic parlors coming, going, and rivers thought like bending curves. Ah, see now the splendor solid, the rune-cast hazel stones abounding, and not so much in peril's thought. I sense the days pass one by one, on streets here shrieking of night owls, and turn to right the wrongs of ages now, and then in small communities they congregated, thought out plans to overtake this feeble mind, swept sideways by indecision, to feel the whole of it, just feeling it not, as the walls do not allow it to get through. So we twist our mind, once feeble, now as God creators, always able to cause all ailments to go, and then had strangely overtaken us. This parody of stage desires, evoked as spirits summoned from graves uninhabited by much before, by much more, instead of whipped up cream wavers that not one of us could muster, seemingly unwanted, in doubled backwards to the moon of infestation, of sound mind then lost in the sparkles of high self-guidance, true meshwork of the ultimate coming together, were it not to simply inform the dark one leading them astray, always ready to vapor lightly, unaccustomed to the trust gate open wide, and then encountered bombs made in mind space rented to the devil, those evil red destroyers who circumvent the normal road to gladness, impervious and downcast, those ruins that one once had forgotten, to ask the way that one had lost them, and paradise.
I'm in Georgia. Want to see my sexy pics now? Forgotten ancestry of lustful swellings, unembellished pictures not seen dated, glued half past way down past green envelopes, sleeved instead for gloves seen. Dance, dance, counter, twirl now. I seek to see the story built, no steam. The princess rules relentlessly in 1,000 million sky-screen tournaments. Battled without change the reluctance of gun Saturdays when storms swept over lands in peril and water burst from fallen dams. This time, this fluctuation of thought feeling rescued in imagination. No one sees, no one dares to care too much. Instead, a distant island turning, churning under dark-pressed skies. Much fanfare to the shrub keep hiding in caves not seen and green-blue water depths. Ah, can dance another night now, sweep across the moonlit plains in search of greatness unidentified, a random thought blown from shark's teeth. Arrange my day in paradise with yellow parasols reflecting light. It seems so distant, still unconquered. Your heart alone, it dwells in minds. Those kobolds built to trap you there, and chocolate candies your food of choice. Reluctantly I bite the apple, swift sour juices filling mouths that shout your name in silent prayers. Forget me not, no sing along. The time was then now grey and gloomy. I'm used to differ, walked away, then found my treasure in your heart, so slowly opened like a rain flower, accustomed less to scream and shout. A certain laugh in you I could then, this engine roused and fueled by hot desire. I see your smile quite disembodied, a floating tomb of unquenched desires, a thirst that burns, oh, it so burdens, and on through sand dunes close to midday, melting in sun heat, cloudy mind, then run the gauntlet through demon canyons. An echo here, a snake nearby, the camel stop, can't go through needles. The force within, all clean, all yum-yum, cascading laughter, river-like, and swim through dark pools in moonlight. A silver earring reflecting Solias. Seek in between, swept far away. Oh, lover, come now, make my day brighter. This gloom, this madness, rescue me from it. Refrain this ecstasy contained within. Allow my rescue team to lead you. Forget this fear driving and churning. March into brightness, past gloom, to applause of monkeys screeching you to halt now. Reach into pockets of slow deception, arrange for taxidermatologists to cut the rope here that is binding, and burn the bridges framing madness, arched in the sky of electricity. Bloom, blom, count me in to break through these days together, to gather unqualified emotions from before into a silver basket of forgiveness, ridden on black broomsticks, angelically unfruitful, as I begin shake and embrace this moment of descent of you. Oneness, you high caliber, throttle quickly through dark lost corridors of forlorn mind tunnels, deep within the green hidden castle mountain, as they have called it, the grave. And now how many yellow lights may even flicker. I turn my ear inside your lips for tasting. Spice fortune cookie exploded midway in the heaven where I collected piecemeal memories to bake another cake of life experience in my oven at 250 angelic degrees. Kiss me again, come all over, the sky shed tears, in tune sang and danced, where I picked you up fondly, as in the old black and white days of the 1920s, where we jumped trapezes in water, lowland, unforgiving, mountain fox unaccounted for, but not ever chased away. Thus we twist, turn, curly, hairy, funny guy. Who are you blinking in and out of existence at my eyes corners, as if the coroner of dreams having you near cares in his big black limousine to pick you up once and for all now. Dance this world once more into existence, sich zügeln, but why should one have to rein in oneself? Did the Godessa give us too much energy to play with, and we disperse it automatically as our treasure to be spent, to live in peace and harmony, where all five elements float free in space-time immemorial, where these ones had a talk once late in star-swept skies they twirled in twilight of rising half-moon, cloud obscured, a breath of life juice as the words dropped silence in letters spelled of foreign alphabet, deciphered little. Come raise me, I can't seem seen in normality, but feature quested from that spell. Runes casting, fly me skywards fantasy, and touch the made-up mind in ecstasy, as clouds burst thunder rain engulfing us, when dance becomes like prayer breading. I reach this high to just dream of cloudburst sugar fantasy, in jasmine ecstasy, bound forever chained to me, repressed no fortune, right in ecstasy, closed in mouth pet thunder, dull like frenzy by some half-blown whistles, then pertaining to the end of fantasy. This dream world exists when asleep. The task before us then is quite enormous. All that you do and think alike, I render pleasure to your heart mind, engulfing fear amoeba-like, restricting panic from arising, alerting friends to congregate. Why do we chase this push and shoving? Have not tuxedo days long passed? Enumerating fables untold, inherent mind robots just spread haphazardly. You said encircling X are closing in, but I have yet seen ducks in moonlight swimming through. Ponderings of nights blue and torches on Hawaiian beaches, alerting cats cry from day's heat. Compare the millions seeking pleasure and sweep my mind clear of webs deceiving. For it is truth to keep on chasing, and it's this life asking in tears, who are you, where and why this spaceship enforcing laws no one wants to live by? Rest my heart with your love glances and dance at night through fires wildly, enthrone the Valerian trophies away as in a beat streak unsought like undigested, in mind soup dwelling sulfur rising. Ha! The devil then appearing as in a fire roasted tale never told, in true equanimity sigh then when the lilac trumpets blow freedom through deserted side streets away from view in blue-green cancels of knots worm through bridges encrusted with evil trees holding innocent drowned victims, some of them probably even suicidal. Disco music, crazy ballroom nights swirled through on a silver tablet of affection. Du gehst jetzt aber ran. Indeed, that is the current mode. No need to shelter in sadness, as the princess will now finally, after many delays, arrive. Even though after hours 4 a.m. to 5 a.m., in those hours when the cock cries, wakes you, slumber strangely on cloud 7 in dreams, lightly Band and Hintergrund. Sieh, I can sense the past revolved and space-time warp, nets cast out into sweet sunshine on bedded, wailed, and in contemplated sashimi like in fairy tales, now fast forgotten tomatoes, onion, garlic, made you salt, invested, stay ground level now, as I climb ever higher on your divine stairs, half floating, the quagmire, half windows, haucht on rosa road. It seems we seek potatoes in moonlight sunrises in East Mountain fairyland. Come now, congregate and sieve the pomegranates into the doom of perfect. Overturned, not seen, not wanted, last to know is first to boast, in bear-like customs dancing nights away from tents lit sparsely, contemplated, fired away, the hordes moved through us like scented candle rose, with all its thorns burned off by your sweet kiss, angel, so much wanted, unknown, dark, being in shades of dreams, lost in encounters with daytime normalcy, wet and drip, those tick-tock seconds, impaled by experience in vacuum space bags, unfurled, counter-mended, sewn through it, woke up one day, young glance away, not seen, stories told, in fathom wings of gold suspension. When I will rise, my princess crown, you tremble light in 10 directions, account for one in always being, the same blame game no longer wanted. I characterize you peace in person. Unclaimed terrors of tea-scented high, adrift snow mountains north of Darjeeling, prayer flags engulfed, paths into smoke, sunshine whipped by delight, rush to exit then and there, no longer scrambled eggs or flour, biscuit, butter, slip, rip, run, hour, mock. Spice is too much on the unwanted, flagging accounts for maintenance, ripping servers apart, outgunned, smoldering remains 1100, half too late in spectral encounters, late last night in past sunset settings. So send me to your world already, am waiting for your guiding hand now, accustomed to patience plenty. I scream your name, queen of the fairy realm, may lose my head when king's man's coming, and burn to death then upside down, lose trust no more in Odin's longings, and rescue trees in swelter worlds. Have I not once now hesitated to swim this river down log-like, this devastation of times higher, bent up here, I tire thinking of this grey molasses water. Kept off the beach by furious paddling, drowned, their spirit takes possession. I read the end, that's the beginning, and cast my spells to fill those sails across the sea of broken hearts, then closer to you, my love, my goddess, space, form, wandering, appear in far-out thoughts, clinics, in grey seas of the discarded ideals of life, of being and reality, as one has once discounted the existence of just one reality over many different ways to experience it thus. The analysis is mostly made to know the ultimate reality, and if it is a mix, as if it is made of thought stuff, but can only work under certain laws, then who or what and how were those laws coming into being as the contours of the path reality is formed around? We observe and enchant ourselves with hope for knowing in Tomorrowland, as if this is not the most accurate description of fiction action, or just some mentally emotional embezzlement with the mad crowds running amok like touched by the evil spirits inhabiting low realms of throw-up nauseating frequencies, battled not in clear light, but sugar-coated insanity, wishing death, destruction, fun on them. I separate from those no longer fooled by their seductive tactics to make me slobber like a hungry donkey, carrot-chasing idiot, like to exhaustion and mental emotional retardation. I stop now, go on my path of light duty, sunlight shining for you and all else, even if not truly here, still in this dissociated state, but more observant, split somehow. Since 1985 in Paris, the hotel invasion knocked my true self off its socket. Who I am now functioning, revoluting. I sweat not now, cool breeze of clarity, feet cold, devil soon defeated. I'm storming over sandcastle infected beaches, invading your sacred cherished land now. Gladly you select to not react in kind, instead welcoming my invasion force with flower-bearing hands, whole armies of flower-giving humans of all ages, singing and laughing, unable to let their joy be dispelled by my weapons of unforgiving happiness. I select to force myself into state-wise, now nothing left but canned laughter and Chinese pop music. My heart melts in your eye gaze as sunstroke victims bear the urge of forgiveness, come like diamond candy comet-like, and turn no more tables for false spirit possession, awaiting the urge to let go of small cell insanity born of too heavy pressure. The trans princess finally programmed enforcement agencies of deep doubt re-imbalance abgestürzt one by one. None could long last that. You holy priestess of perfection, cooking me slowly in your cauldron of love fire, spite incontinence of the warrior vibration, unsensed and broken away from the regular crowd, as one has not yet seen, tasted, laughed of the in-between to sentence oneself after a water glitch experience to permafrost in freeze, punishment seldom given these days of the polar ice melting us away. We seek no other love lost, no longer seen in your eyes of infinity. Over the hills they leapfrogged over ideas that covered them, leaving them behind in the dust of the oncoming armies, fearful ones called the Dark Lord, overruling his diminishing empires, eager to rebuild them with any help offered. The Dark Lord who speaks in ages of bygone melodies to rhythms twinkling in the eyes of madness, undeciphered, stolen, rotten, even understated games, flashing books in visions. Oh, not one vision stands still today, one not out, as if afraid to reveal the utmost truth about himself, unspoken even in words now no longer uttered in sheer bliss fantasy. Erect the warning signals of prosperity, arising late in green fields of proper gladness, swift reveal in forging fugues of non-essential, trouble bound to heart mind melting, as in twin flame marbles renunciated and glided, seemingly red, understated gazing, and Nula Sulu Super Sisiput is asking to assist, let him stop. Canned laughter, crowds congregating, clap, clap. Ring the damn gong already, this chapter should already be over. When after this haunted episode he rang the gong and burned the incense, he was no longer in this world but long gone somewhere he was not even aware of going. He awoke no longer to his own felt beingness, but elsewhere between there and the old him of what had happened to him before. One did not know but could already suspect an emergency situation of some kind, where no fear was greater than it and could not easily be fled from, where he developed the ability to split from the body to avoid the fear. Still, it did not provide him with the freedom he so much thought deserved. Clap, trap, bim-bom, fantasy, eradicate the grill still scepter, the smart englided us then just in the bean boats of beastly duty, as no one seems. The angels soar into the cool wind of robot helmet reflections, young ones dancing, then your concentration lacking, lasting after most simple joy highs of any kind, day after day, just like drifting from goal to goal, devilish they call it. Just hanging out like just one likes it, away from all cheap compromises, but instilled with true being in compassion, suspension of feeling, floating above balloon like pinch me just awake now. Tulip, Imuka, Sukalva, Truman, Amoin, Kalulama, Solum, Alkean, Soka, Gona. Try to envision you crowded in Queen's Green, Regalia, gloriously unbinding like a waterfall, slurping, going places never slept at, then return, forgetting memory, fantasy replacing, waiting like blind days, nights, ages, it seems, in mad spring circles, round and round. I did not come here to seek your call, forgiveness of what but existence, as it is always seemingly dependent on the life of other living beings, plants as living beings included. It appears specific life forms have arisen due to their being shaped by the environment in a Darwinian way, with humans not fulfilling any purpose other than cheating their way through the system of ecological dependence, like a rat feeding on availabilities. Human learn to expand availability to an extinction event away from a blackened planet that could not withstand sun flares, hitting it stronger each time it cannot defend itself against it. Thus, the equilibrium has to be retained again and again, new in the way to respond to the old and the only way to defend against the evil new dark force that has invaded the state capital of confused reactions, finger-licked and spun sideways as they once mimicked someone in an old war movie. However, human is not a virus. Human is a sentient entity. Therefore, it is not to be hurt. That is the only rule. Not even the golden rule applies more extreme. Just do no harm. Be on the lookout for infusion of not wanted bacilla like dark entities. Defend with a heart glowing of love. If you break another trance spell, be invited to dance in the inevitable production never seen before, nor wanted nor needed, just created out of Sisyphus arrow, being, stuff, making it whole by declaring it to be so. The more clear the image, the fewer the alternative interpretations of them that lead to stagnation. So the best way is to combine the new ideas with craftsman expertise in its execution. However, the whole does not lie in each particle, but in the aggregation of it. Thus, it is the observer who makes the picture she sees real. Then have the hands arrange it right when you said, "Ooh, honey," so clearly, I could cry out in utmost sadness. Oh, honey, the world was marching to a strange new beat. I could not continue to follow it up, and thus got snapped up by the alien's gun. Ah, the days of being myself now. So much, so more as what is in the nose depends on the shallow waters not splashed through past thread daylight, so delight and be. I crouched, fled her advances, catacombs of half-been, half-come gun in certain intervals, my clock no longer ticking, sands gun from time, space, eternity, sinking my mind into blue oblivion, unknown, forever invading my soul, it seems externalized, feeling of caution. Does it actually create the rattlesnake, or does the image of the snake on the road work backwards in time like a wave that hit me, unknowing of why the feeling arises? I seek explanations when it arises, and each waking thought can influence it, even pretend to be its cause, which, however, is the snake seen in the future. Alternatives are possible, but are they plausible enough to spend enormous time and energy on, or do they just seem too far off to dismiss as possibilities? One wanders around in a mind inflamed with ambiguity. I wonder which one it is. I create the snake, or the snake evokes the fear, comes in a time we seek shelter and infinite perturbations of silent thought, out twice, hung upside down, 2 times 6, 12, like deeper than the mystery of a risen nightmare. Paradoxes can be expunged from memories and piano-possessed classics, times when one was riding waves a la Chop Chop, in then clustered memories and muddy eyes, twinkling twilight beer sought night times in sweaty cities, non-reflected, just molten in place, not moved, not trotzdem. Then I seek another desire to satisfy, if it is not this one pulsing this heart on for complete unity, achieved unlike it cluster bomb thought spirals, but let them the front of madness dissolve, glad thought polished in rainy days, cities ungrown from stop signs never noticed, then devoured by the angry Satan likeness of hell being equivalent in human female form. As I'm slowly being hypnotized by far-off phone blue flashing lights, not seemingly, not dreaming about it as I remember, the color-coded dream, now distant memory, come sit with me just another round, then sparkles came fall onto one, you seen, thought unwanted, so much mistaken as the doer of all it in awe, as if God through you worked, seep in the holy juices of life-giving substance, the dark, clear crystal water, sip it to just pure perfection. Seek no shelter in sound madness, build your own thought by your own hands as you see fit. Do not disregard the notice sweet angels in heaven sent you via the express telepathic way, as that is their way of angels. Mari, Angelus, Holy, Umi, as your mantra is sang in harmony with my sweeping heartbeat, in a soft glance a million kisses fly, dolphin-like through airless quantum space, eternity, and we keep existent slowly by the power of our imagination, especially in this fleeting world we call normal reality. When he wrapped his strong arms around her, sung, said words into incoherent sentences, sanity dissolving room for light to shine through. Can you guide my hand once more now, spirit dearie dear? Lift the curtains of normality, dance in twilights of depravity, rest my mid-flight thought in green-lit gangster garage hangouts. Night turns red, bright green as blood flows. Let separation heal to new togetherness. Let nobody tell you, feel, oh, Jesus, please, as this is a bright light angel writing this now. I tell you to be harmless to all life in all spheres, mental, emotional, physical, as all is us and you and them in unity of separate togetherness. We shine in beauty, parading in light, red, blue, Holy One. Yeah, I was chasing after you 2 pieces of salon dragon, quite assured, for them not prophesied, seldom understood, in no time escaping the old into new beholdings, not yet dreamt of, always the invocation of the holy muse to excite the pen to move in words that glorify her as the only true majestic goddess in the whole realm. This goddess muse worshipped by being her praise in your words. As compost decays, so do compositions that do not contain the various odes to her, as in a computer search you cannot find unless you write and press find. Enter paradise at 6:30 daily. Moon cycles in witches' brewing pots that seldom saw clear light, yellow moonlight under ultraviolet vampire shades of disguised altruism, like a cow raised to be slaughtered. Some see this life as an in-between terror, birth, death, pain, and suffering. Why should one experience it and not know truly, see with one's own eyes the existence of the not seen? I thought of something above, a whirling of some kind of unknown engine, a weirdness that could never be cleared, this weirdness of existence in general, and in this bodily experience specifically. I just can't seem to figure out the true reason for existence in general, and am often feeling like in weirdest fantasy land. Having this corporeal experience, I want to escape rather than talk about it, as it appears almost as if it causes me embarrassment. Even mention it to others in public. I know my existence is not as I claim to be, often just a silent witness to my own acting. If I cannot feel a core pulsating in the heart region, if it is empty, a black hole sucking all joy out of life, I've seemed to have forgotten myself as an existing entity, and thus fantasize and speculate how I could redefine myself in polarity with the one love so very dear to me, but apparently missing in action now. For most of my life this was a thought train embellishment of the Galaxy Princess monologue from her sacred diaries. Now we switch over.